Hi guys, and welcome to what is a very sort of special summer edition of one of my vlogs. It was my last day of work yesterday and I am really excited about having a week off, going to England, seeing my family and just doing very little for a whole week. I feel like I just need to turn my brain off and completely relax. But before I can do that, I've got to get myself packed and ready to go. I'm only taking a really small, like, hand luggage carry-on suitcase, so I can't go overboard with packing and taking 100 different projects and God knows how much yarn with me. Because the temptation is always there to sort of take multiple projects on holiday. I'm sure that you are in a very similar predicament and you probably do exactly the same thing. I feel like that's just one of those things that we do as knitters. We get like over ambitious about the amount of knitting we're actually going to get done when we're supposed to be resting and, you know, taking it easy. There was one holiday where I believe I took 2 whole like full-size projects that I would normally probably finish in about a month, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll finish these in a week. Yeah, it goes without saying that no, I did not finish them in a week. I also have a few lovely new bits from Sezane that I'm going to show you that I'm really excited to wear, and yeah, I'm going to talk you through what projects I'm going to take and also what kind of knitting accessories bits I tend to take with me when I travel. Because I know that there is some kind of like hot debate about whether you can take metal needles on planes and stuff. I don't do that, by the way. I only take wooden ones. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. The accessories, the knits, the outfits, all of it. Okay, and this is my beat up tiny little hand luggage suitcase. You can see it really is quite small. This case is absolutely ancient. My parents got this case for me, I think it was for my 18th birthday, so it's really old. And every time I pack it, I wonder if this is going to be the last time that I'm going to use it. I mean, it has kind of like bits falling off it at the back, but it was such a good little case that lasted me for absolutely ages. I had a matching one that was a big silver one, and yeah, I just really loved them. They were such a great gift and I just got so much use out of them. But yeah, this might be its last trip. So we're going to try and stuff as much yarn into it as possible. Okay, now, in an ideal world, I would be taking 2 projects at least with me, but I feel like that is probably just going to be way too much for such a short trip and such a tiny bag. So I am going to be taking my Lanta bag, which is just in this mesh sort of yarn bag that they always give you when you buy yarn. This yarn, as many of you will have already seen, is the Hobby Cotton. I'm really enjoying making this, and there are a few points that I'm going to kind of go over with this bag when I've got a little bit more progress done on it. But yeah, I really like this project and I think it's coming along really nicely. You can kind of see the texture through there. So that's the first thing that I would take. Now ideally, I would also like to take all of this lovely Norley yarn. Yeah, and kind of like shove it in there. But I'm thinking, if I look at the yarn in the bag, that seems like quite a lot of space to give up just to yarn. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to pack the rest of my suitcase and I'm gonna have to see. Alright, I'm just going to sit down now and talk you through some of the bits that I'm gonna take with me and that I usually kind of travel with when I fly within Europe. I basically always take hand luggage these days. I don't tend to check in bags just because I hate sort of waiting around, and yeah, I'm trying not to be such a heavy packer, I suppose. I like to take a lot of outfits and I like to get dressed up on holiday, but I am trying very hard not to like overdo it and take a million different things that I will inevitably not actually end up wearing. So first things first, with my Lanta bag, I am going to swap out these needles. These are my metal needles. They're really, really great. I love these. These are the higher sharps. I believe these are 4mm, if you can kind of see it there. These are really good. I love absolutely everything about them. Since I got these, I have a whole adjustable set. I have been using these not exclusively, because I do still sometimes go back to my old ones, but yeah, I've really enjoyed them, how slick they are, but because they're metal, I do get a little bit paranoid that they're not going to really like that when I go to the security and try and like take them through my bag. So I haven't tried flying with these, and I would recommend maybe not to if you are very attached to your sort of stainless steel needles, just because I think they could look a little bit, I don't know, pointy and stabby maybe on the security scans. I am going back to my old set, which I still really love but don't tend to use quite as much, just because I like the slickness of metal ones now. And these are the Licker, I think they're called, driftwood needles. They're a really beautiful set. You can see some are already out because I was preparing for the trip and I was putting the cable on a couple of them so that it was all ready to go. But I'll give you a closer look. They're a really, really beautiful set, and they were such a great investment early in my knitting journey. They're gorgeously smooth, at least at the beginning, and yeah, just really, really awesome. I think it's 3.5mm, which is the smallest, and it goes all the way up to a 12mm. Now, I myself have not actually ever used the 12mm needles, because like, I mean, look at those. That's pretty massive, right? I've never had a project that's actually called for needles this big. I think the biggest that I've actually gone up to is maybe the 6.5. So I'll show you the difference. It's quite considerable. So yeah, never actually used these massive ones, just these. This is the biggest I've gone up to. But I am kind of thinking, just for a fun little experiment, I might try and look for a massive needle project when I come back from my holiday in the autumn. Just because it seems a shame to have these in my case and to not actually use them. By comparison, my higher sharps are very, very small. I think that they go down to, is it a 2 or a 2.5mm? And then they only go up to, I think it's about a 5, so a much smaller range, but that does suit me as I am very much into knitting with kind of tiny needles at the moment. I mean, 3.5mm, that is my jam, or it has been over the last year, for whatever reason. I just really enjoy the smooth and neat finish that you get with those tiny needles, but still I would like to one day maybe knit something with these really, really chunky ones, just to see what it would be like and to see if I would enjoy the fabric. I know it was such a huge craze when I started knitting, so that was back around before COVID. I think it must have been 2018 that I got really, really serious about knitting. And yeah, it was a huge craze at that time with brands like We Are Knitters to make these kind of very chunky, loose, like baggy jumpers in roving yarn. I personally never really got into that because I felt it was prohibitive in price. It was really, really expensive. So I never hopped onto that kind of like knitting craze in my early knitting journey. But I would be curious to experiment with thicker yarn. So if you have any recommendations for a super thick, chunky yarn that you think would be nice for me to try, do drop it down below. I could do maybe a little video about knitting with like extra bulky yarn if you would be interested in that. Once I've popped my needles onto their cable, I am just going to slip my project off that one set onto the other set of the corresponding wooden size. However, when I travel, I don't actually keep my projects on the set of needles because I get a bit paranoid that that might look a little bit strange, I don't know, on the scans, and I get really worried that they will stop me because I have heard some stories of people getting kind of hassled at the airport about that. So all I do is, when I am travelling, I take off the needle tip off the cable, and then I put my needle tips in a pencil case with the rest of my pencils, because I feel like on the scan, because they're made of wood, they probably just look like pencils, and doing that I've never actually had a problem with being stopped or being kind of hassled about my knitting needles at all. And if you keep your pencil case really handy and kind of near to you, you can just put them back on as soon as you get on the flight and then start up again with your project. I've read really mixed things about people's experiences at airports, but I am always super cautious, as my cables and my needles are precious, and I wouldn't want to get to a destination having had them confiscated or like losing progress on one of my projects. I was just about to put everything into my suitcase when I remembered there were a few other little tools that I always include that I almost forgot. Now, of course, in my little pencil case, I include a tape measure so I can keep track of the length of my work as I go. I do also include a tiny notebook, and on the more high maintenance side, I add into my hand luggage, as long as I have space, but I usually make space for these because I'm very fussy about keeping my clothes looking like quite pristine when I'm on holiday. I feel like part of the fun of going on holiday is getting dressed up and feeling like a little bit special in what you're wearing. So I always include a lint roller, sticky, yeah, this is just a really mini one. Remove any bits off your clothes. This is super important if you wear as much black as I do. And on the slightly bulkier side, I have recently acquired this steamer, which is from Philips. It looks kind of big in my hands, but trust me, this is one of the smallest ones I've actually come across, and it's so useful. It's not going to completely kind of get your cotton shirts like super crisp and perfect. However, if your cotton shirts are in a pretty good state when you pack them and you take them out quickly, you use this, it does work to give you an almost ironed effect. And this particular one is from Philips. We got this one just because it folds up to be really quite small, and then you can kind of wrap the cable around it. I also like that the tank is really simple to remove. Yeah, you just fill that up there at the tap and then clip it on and press the button, and yeah, it steams stuff pretty well. It's, as I said, it's not going to make everything look like it's just been ironed, but for certain outfits, if you don't have any iron or steamer, it's very hard to wear them. I have a beautiful silk dress that I love to wear out to dinner, but if I hadn't got this, I would be too embarrassed and too crinkled to actually wear it. So this is a real lifesaver, and it's also good for more kind of delicate fabrics that you wouldn't want to actually iron flat. So yeah, Philips, of course, there are loads of other brands, but this one I really like, and it's very kind of travel friendly. Yeah, just like that. I mean, I could make it neater, but super easy to pack, and something that I wouldn't be without. Don't need to see any of the chaos that is going on in my hallway at the moment. Nobody needs to see that but me. And yeah, I have a few new bits from Sezane that I would really like to show you. I have been working with them again for their sort of like pre-autumn collection, which is really exciting because it's making me think, oh my goodness, autumn is finally almost here. So I'm going to grab those. I've put a few out already, but I think that they are really pretty and you might really like some of them. Now the first thing I have is just a white shirt. This is something that I wanted to get last year, but it was completely sold out, with this gorgeous giant golden button detail. I think that is going to be extremely chic with a pair of black trousers. Probably not for dinner, as I do have the terrible habit of ending up with sauce all the way down myself whenever I wear anything white out to eat. Yeah, it's an illness, okay? I find it really, really hard to keep white things clean. So this is more maybe something that I might wear out for drinks or out in the daytime when I'm not going to be going for lunch. The other thing that I'm super excited about is this beautiful dress. I am going to be attending a wedding. It's my cousin's wedding, which is really sweet and exciting. So I needed a kind of fancy dressed up look for the evening. So I'm just going to be wearing this. I might put it on and actually show you what it looks like because I'm not doing it justice, just holding it up. But it's got these beautiful lacy details. It's like a stretchy kind of knit material all over. And the fabric actually has, it's going to be hard for you to see, but the fabric actually has some kind of lacework detailing in it. Okay, I have the dress on, but to actually show you what this looks like, I'm just going to put you back, like over there, across the room. It's really comfortable. It's a lot more kind of fitted and feminine than I might usually go for, but it feels so soft and lovely, the very stretchy kind of viscose material. And yeah, I love all the detail on it. At the back, it has a low plunging back, but I just feel like it is a beautiful kind of grown up, slightly Italian inspired evening look. Because yeah, I am going to the evening section of the wedding, so I imagine people will be quite dressed up, and I will also be able to take some really lovely pictures in this for my Instagram. I do have some options of shoes. My mum has a pair that I'm considering wearing, but I also have another pair here from Sezane that I'll give you a very quick look at. These are the Paula baby shoes. Very, very cute. Not a super high heel because if I'm being honest, I am terrible at walking in high heels. I don't really wear high heels anymore. I feel like at some point in my kind of late teens, I just decided that high heels were not for me anymore. So these were a good compromise. I'll actually try them on and give you a quick look at what they look like. They are so cute. I love the double straps. There is something that feels very like French chic about them, which from Sezane, that is to be expected. I feel like they go very well with this dress. Yeah, you can see the skirt is quite swooshy, which I really like. Now I have given you a quick look at this beautiful Aphrodite dress, which isn't it aptly named. I also have one last thing, which is more of a kind of classy but also a little bit more dressed down look that I'm thinking about wearing if we go out for a nice lunch or if I take my grandma to the theatre. And this is the Reader vest. This vest I particularly liked and I went for over a few different other ones because of the fact that it is like a higher neck but also longer in the body. It's a wool blend material, which I also really enjoy, so I think it will be a good one for transitioning from summer into autumn, maybe with something layered underneath. And yeah, I just feel like it is elegant and a little bit dressed up without being too much because of the lack of sleeves. You can still feel like quite casual in it. I think that my sweet spot with clothes at the moment is stuff that looks very classy and quite elegant, but without feeling too forced or too, I don't know, stiff, I guess. So I like it to be sophisticated, but I want there to be a slightly more kind of like relaxed element to my outfits. And this definitely ticks a lot of those boxes. I'll probably just wear it with the matching black trousers. Now these are just trousers from Uniqlo, Baker pants I think they're called, which are really good. I have them in 2 colours. And of course with this we would go for the Brigitte bag. I think we would have to go for the Brigitte bag. So I am back. I have my big gold earrings, my favourite vintage ones. As you can see, I feel like that just finishes it off. I watched a few sort of weeks ago Parent Trap, which was one of my absolute favourite films when I was younger. I loved it, and I noticed it was on, I think it was Disney Plus, so I couldn't resist watching it. And you know, this outfit is giving the evil, like, stepmother vibes. But I don't know, I'm kind of into it. I will lean into the evil stepmother from Parent Trap this summer. It's a look. And I would pair with it my slouchy Brigitte bag, which goes with me on every summertime holiday. However, this time, if I finish my Lanta bag, I feel like the Lanta bag would actually look equally good with this outfit. Yeah, so watch this space. Hopefully very soon I will have a new post up over on my Instagram with the Lanta bag and this whole entire look. Okay, I'm just going to take off this before I get too hot in it, because this is definitely more weather appropriate for England than it is for here. It's 35 degrees, if you can believe it. I mean, you probably can if you have been in Europe at all this summer. It's really, really, really hot. So yeah, I'm going to take this off, I'm going to finish up a few packing bits, and then I'm going to sit and have a nice cup of coffee, do a few lines of knitting, and also do my nails, because I will tell you, they are in a sorry state. I am trying to do the grown-up thing of learning how to do my nails because the prices of nail salons make me uncomfortable. So I'm going to try and do them like all pretty so that they're ready for the wedding. So that's my plan this afternoon. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to some relaxation time. Hi guys, I'm finally back in Italy. I've just brewed myself a nice big mug of coffee. I'm going to let that cool down while I update you on what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks. Now, I decided to take a little bit of time off this month just because in Italy everything shuts down in August. Everybody leaves all of the big cities and they all go to the beach. And that sort of mass holiday taking has definitely impacted me, and I decided to give myself a well-deserved rest also from YouTube, so I am very happy now to be back and to be making another little video to share with you. Also, in the last few weeks since I've been back from England, my boyfriend took me on a lovely little trip to Turin, which is a city that I've been to a few times before, but that I consistently just fall more in love with every time I visit. I had hoped to go to a couple of yarn shops, but of course, because it's the August holidays, everything is shut. So we settled for getting some coffee at the Lavazza Museum, and this is very tasty. It's specialty coffee, and I am so obsessed and in love with trying all the specialty coffee. But yeah, the Lavazza Museum was very cool, and we managed to get no yarn, of course, no yarn shops open, but we did get a very cute magnet for our little travel magnet collection, which I'll give you a quick look at now. The summer feels like it is finally coming to an end here, and I am so excited and really looking forward to everything that autumn will bring. I have said it before in so many of my videos at this time of year and sort of in previous years that this is my favourite time to sit down and plan what I want to make. It is the time of year, that sort of back to school feeling I think still gets me, even though I am much older now and way past any sort of academic year calendar. It still gets me, and I still feel like this time of the year is so full of optimism and I have so many ideas, so many things I want to make and so many things I'm excited to share with you all. In the next few weeks, I am also working on putting together a little knit-along all about textured knits. I still need to finalise a few details, but if you would be interested in that, then do be sure to follow me over on my Instagram and also sort of watch this space, because if you are a fan of cows, I am going to be hosting one with someone else who reached out to me, and it is all very exciting. But I will spare you the details for now until I have a little bit more information about that. And of course, thinking about autumnal things, I have already started very stubbornly autumnal dressing. I'm wearing my tonight top today because I couldn't resist the chance. Now, on this one day in the last month, it's dropped below 30 degrees. I decided I'm going to wear a knit, even if I am going to be sweaty and hot by the end of the day. I really want to wear a knit. I'm so ready for it to be cold. I'm so ready for it to be autumnal, for cosy warm drinks, the chestnut roasters out on the streets. Please, I'm ready for summer to be finished. As much fun as it has been, I hope that you all had a really great and restful August. I'll be updating you very, very soon with a video about my autumn makes. I didn't make as much progress as I wanted to. I will show you right now. And this is my Lanta bag, and as you can see, I did the thing I always do, which is be massively optimistic and then enormously underperform. So this, though, I'm going to finish in the next couple of days. It will be included in my autumn makes video, along with a couple of other things that I have started that I am really thrilled to finally have the chance to wear. And yeah, I did it. I packed too much yarn and I didn't use it all. But we all knew that that was going to happen, didn't we? When you were looking at the case, I feel like, you know, you guys know what it's like. The dream, it never dies that I'm going to one day go on holiday and come back with 3 or 4 finished objects. But alas, this was not that holiday. However, I do have a few bits that are ready to go to show you that I'm really excited about sharing. And I hope to see you back again very, very soon. Enjoy the last few days or weeks of your summer, depending on where you are, or I mean, some of you are probably already in winter, but yes, have a lovely weekend and I will see you back very, very soon. I'll stop my waffling now. Bye, and thank you for watching.